The God complex in your mirror. The statue and the spark. Close your eyes for a second. Imagine you are a sculptor in ancient Greece. Your name is Pygmalion. You've spent months carving a woman out of ivory. She is perfect. She is flawless. She is so beautiful that you actually fall in love with her. You start bringing her gifts, flowers, bright shells, little birds. You tuck her into bed at night. Now, normally, this would get you a one-way ticket to a psych ward. But in Greek mythology, the goddess Aphrodite takes pity on you. She breathes life into the statue, and poof, the ivory turns to warm flesh. We call the phenomenon where others' expectations change us the Pygmalion effect. But today, we aren't talking about what other people think of you. We're talking about the sequel. We're talking about the statue's perspective. Welcome to the Galatea Effect. The Galatea Effect is the psychological powerhouse that says, if you believe you are a masterpiece, you will eventually breathe. But if you believe you're just a cold hunk of rock, well, enjoy being a doorstop for the rest of eternity. What exactly is this magic? In formal psychology, the Galatea Effect is a subcomponent of the self-fulfilling prophecy. An individual's opinion of their own ability directly influences their performance. Think of it as the internal GPS of your potential. If you program your GPS to failure city, don't be surprised when you end up in a ditch surrounded by empty taco wrappers. It's different from the Pygmalion effect. Pygmalion is about your boss thinking you're a genius, so you become one. Galatea is about you thinking you're a genius, so your boss has no choice but to agree. It's the ultimate fake it till you make it, but with more science and fewer Pinterest quotes. It works in a circle. First, belief. I am capable of mastering quantum physics. Second, action. You actually open the textbook instead of using it as a monitor stand. Third, outcome. You learn something. And finally, reinforcement. See? I'm a genius. Most of us are stuck in the budget version of this loop. Belief. I am a potato. Shaction. You lay on the couch. Outcome. You grow sprouts. Reinforcement. I knew it. I'm a starch-based life form. The science of the inner cheerleader. Let's talk about self-efficacy. This term was coined by Albert Bandura, a man who probably had a very high opinion of himself because he's one of the most cited psychologists in history. Self-efficacy isn't just self-esteem. Double quotes. Self-esteem is, I like myself. Self-efficacy is, I can kick this. Tasks butt. When you have a high Galatea factor, your brain chemistry actually shifts. You release less cortisol, the stress hormone, when facing a challenge. Your prefrontal cortex, the CEO of your brain, stays online instead of shutting down in a panic. Performance equals ability multiplied by belief. Squared. Okay, I made that formula up, but it feels right, doesn't it? If your ability is 10, but your belief is 0, your performance is 0. You are a Ferrari with no gas. You're a 5,000 gaming PC trying to run on a potato battery. Manifesting. Ancient myth versus Gen Z trend. Now, we can't talk about belief in 2026 without mentioning the elephant in the room. Manifesting.Gen Z has rebranded the Galatea Effect with vision boards, scripting, and TikToks about lucky girl syndrome on the surface. It's the same thing, using high self-expectation to shift reality. When you manifest, you are essentially priming your brain to see opportunities you'd otherwise miss. But here is where the Galatea Effect and manifesting get into a messy breakup. Manifesting often falls into the trap of The Secret, the idea that if I just vibrate at the right frequency, a suitcase of money will fall from the sky. The Galatea Effect is more grounded. It's not about the universe delivering a gift. It's about your brain becoming so convinced of your competence that you force the world to give you what you want. Pygmalion didn't just wish for a wife. He bled and sweated over a chisel for months. Manifesting without the chisel is just daydreaming. If you're sitting on your bed, manifesting a promotion while being the least productive person in the office, you aren't using the Galatea Effect. You're just lying to yourself. The dark side, the I suck spiral. Here is the warning number 1. The Galatea Effect is a double-edged sword. It doesn't just build empires, it raises them. If you harbor a deep-seated belief that you are bad with money, unlucky in love, or technologically illiterate, you are essentially casting a curse on yourself. You will subconsciously seek out evidence to prove yourself right. You'll miss the investment opportunity because I'm bad with money. You'll ruin a good relationship because I always mess things up. You are the only person in the world who has 24/7 access to your brain's PA system. If you spend all day broadcasting, you're a fraud over the speakers. Don't be surprised when your audience, your talent and ambition, leaves the building. Stop being your own most dedicated hater. There are plenty of people willing to do that job for free. Don't do it for them. How to build your Galatea without becoming a narcissist. So, how do we move from ivory statue to living legend? Step 1. Curate your internal monologue. If your internal monologue was played out loud at a dinner party, would people call the police? If the answer is yes, we need an edit. Instead of saying, I can't do this, try, I can't do this yet. Adding yet is the psychological equivalent of a get-out-of-jail-free card. Step 2. The small wins strategy. You can't just look in the mirror and say, I am a billionaire, while your bank account is screaming in agony. Your brain isn't stupid. It knows you're lying. You build the Galatea Effect through evidence. Set a goal so small it's embarrassing. I will do 1 push-up. When you do it, your brain goes, oh, okay, we are a person who keeps promises. That is the seed of belief. Step 3. Social persuasion, the Pygmalion assist. Surround yourself with people who see the statue in you. If your friends are constantly chipping away at your confidence, they aren't your inner circle. They're a demolition crew. The ego trap, a warning. Now, a word of caution. We want the Galatea effect, not the Icarus effect. There's a fine line between high self-efficacy and being that guy at the party who thinks he can. Explain the Silk Road after watching 1 TikTok video. Confidence without competence is just a recipe for a very public, very loud failure. The Galatea effect isn't about delusion. It's about potential. Galatea didn't just wake up and decide she was a queen. She had to learn how to walk, talk, and navigate a world that used to see her as a rock. Believing you can fly won't stop gravity from being a jerk. But believing you can learn to build a plane? That's where the magic happens. As we wrap this up, I want to leave you with a wake-up call, a profound realization. Most of us spend our lives waiting for someone else to come along and breathe life into us. We wait for the perfect job to make us feel successful. We wait for the perfect partner to make us feel lovable. We wait for the perfect moment to feel brave. We are waiting for Pygmalion, but Pygmalion is a myth. In the real world, the sculptor and the statue are the same person. You are holding the chisel, and you are also the ivory. Every time you say, I'm not the type of person who, you are carving a limitation into your own skin. You are making your statue smaller. You are choosing to stay stone. Your self-image is the ceiling of your life. You will never, ever rise higher than the opinion you have of yourself. If you set your ceiling at average, you will spend your life hunching over so you don't hit your head. Raise the ceiling. Conclusion. The breath of life. The Galatea effect isn't about positive thinking in a cheesy, live, laugh, love kind of way. It's about the brutal, terrifying, and beautiful responsibility of self-definition. You are the only person who can truly decide if you are a masterpiece or a mistake. And the world, strangely enough, usually takes your word for it. So what's it going to be? Are you going to stay on the pedestal, cold and unmoving, complaining about how the world doesn't see your value? Or are you going to breathe life into yourself? The ivory is warm. The goddess is watching. Now, get to work.